Welcome to the best racing channel in the world. We got Bowman Gray Stadium racing coverage and the TCW and Post Race Show for another edition of the TCW and Post Race Show. Welcome to the Charlie Warren Network, the best racing channel in the world.
This is Burt Myers.
And this is Brandon Ward.
You're watching the Charlie Warren Network.
And what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the Charlie Warren Network. It has been a while, ladies and gentlemen. It really has. But I was wanting to let y'all know that I'm okay. Everything's going great. They just hadn't been any racing to talk about, but there luckily has been a race last Sunday, which when I'm recording this would have been yesterday at Pulaski County Speedway, which was formerly known as Motor Mile. Hopefully that video will be coming out really soon. I will come out with it as soon as I can get my hands on the results. So we'll be doing that, but today we are talking about something we've never talked about here on the Charlie Warren Network. We're talking the 2023 MLB Postseason. There's all the teams there on the board there, and as you can see, this big old bracket here has now popped up, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. A lot of good teams in this year, a lot of surprises for 2023. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. First game we're gonna go over is the NL Wild Card game. In our wild card series, I guess I should say now. But first off, we're going to have the number 6 seeded Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the number 3 Milwaukee Brewers. As of right now, the way I see it, and I will say this, as of right now, baseball is so crazy. If you don't watch baseball, it is crazy. Anything can happen, especially at this time of the year. But overall, as I see it right now, I'm going with the Milwaukee Brewers to beat Arizona. I'm going to say it's going to take all 3 games for Milwaukee to get it done. So yeah, I think Milwaukee is going to win that wild card series against the Diamondbacks. I just don't think the Diamondbacks have it this year. It's been a good run with all the players they got, like Corbin Carroll and everybody like that. But I think it's going to come to an end pretty quickly. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to the other NL wild card series between the number 5 seeded Miami Marlins and the number 4 seeded Philadelphia Phillies. This series, I don't believe it's actually going to be that close. I think the Philadelphia Phillies will sweep the Marlins in 2 games, and I think they will go on to the NLDS without any problem against the Marlins. But it is baseball, and there's no telling what can happen. But as of now, I see it that Philadelphia is going to sweep Miami in the wild card series. Man, did you hear that? But anyway, now we're going to go ahead and go over to the American League side of things, where we see the number 6 seeded Toronto Blue Jays and the number 3 seeded Minnesota Twins. I think the Toronto Blue Jays will go on to win the series. I believe it's going to take all 3 games to do it. Minnesota is just not that good this year. And Toronto is actually pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. Toronto Blue Jays beats the Minnesota Twins in the first AL American League wildcard series. Now we're going to go down to the bottom of the grid there where you see the number 5 Texas Rangers and the number 4 seeded Tampa Bay Rays. As of right now, I just think the Texas Rangers are such a better team right now. I think they beat the Rays. I'm going to go all 3 games once again. For the Texas Rangers, I think they get it done. Tampa Bay off to probably one of the most historic starts in baseball this season, going out to a early 13-0 record through the first 13 games of the season. But anyway, now we're going to go ahead and go over to great season Tampa Bay, but your time has come for your season to end in the American League Wild Card Series. Now, we're going to go ahead and go back over to the National League side of things, and I don't have my bracket here where it's all filled in, but we have, first off, we're gonna get into, as y'all can see, Atlanta Braves there, Atlanta Braves here. We'll get into that later. We're gonna go ahead and go over what would be the number 3 Milwaukee Brewers going up against the number 2 seeded Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, here's my opinion on the Dodgers. The Dodgers have lost quite a few players in this past offseason, stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, man, I don't think the Dodgers are honestly that good this year. I think Milwaukee's better than LA this year. And not only that, LA's division is kind of poopy when you really look at it because they got the Rockies, they got the Giants, they got for this year that was kind of dookie was the Padres until later on, about the last month of the season. They really turned it on, just about made it into the playoffs. But the Padres couldn't quite get it done. So I don't think the Dodgers are going to win. I think the Brewers will go on to the National League Championship Series. As y'all know, the NLDS is 5 games. I think it's going to take 4 for the Brewers to get it done. And I think they go on to the NLCS. Now, going over the number 1 seeded Atlanta Braves and the number 4 seeded Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the Atlanta Braves this season is probably the best offense, best team that the Atlanta Braves have had maybe in their franchise history. But if you've paid attention to the Braves here lately, you have come to realize that the last couple weeks, their bullpen has been blowing games left and right. So, with them going up against a hard team in Philadelphia, I think the Braves get kicked out in the NLDS this season once again to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies in the NLDS, that will go 5 games. I will say that. The Braves offense is just too good for them to knock. I think they're going to go 5 games, probably losing game 5. I think the Phillies, for the second year in a row, they go on to the NLCS to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. And can I tell you something? I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Good. I just don't see it, especially with how Philly is, with all them offensive guys, and plus with their 2 pitchers, with Aaron Nolan, especially Zach Wheeler. That's probably 2 losses right there in the NLDS that the Braves would have to do. Cause not saying that the Braves offense can't beat Wheeler, it's going to be really, really tough with all the bullpen problems and everything like that. So, see, Philadelphia Phillies moving on to the NLCS. Now, we're going to go over to the American League side of things, where, let's see, I got to figure this out. Okay, so the number 6 seeded, we're going to go ahead and do this. The number 6 seeded Toronto Blue Jays are going to be taking on the number 1 seeded Baltimore Orioles. This team is young. There's probably going to be a few people that might disagree with me, but I'm going with the young birds. I'm going with Baltimore Orioles. So Baltimore and Toronto, I'm going to go 5 games. I'm going to go 5 games as well. Because Baltimore is just so young with Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, and everybody like that. They are just too young to do anything too spectacular. When 4 games or 3 games, something like that, sweep them. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Now, congratulations to Baltimore, by the way. 2 seasons ago, Baltimore lost 101 games, and now they're the number 1 seed in the American League. Congratulations, Baltimore. Y'all deserve it. But now, y'all are going to the ALCS, in my eyes, as of right now. So, now we're going to go ahead and go over to the number 2 seeded Houston Astros versus the number 5 seeded Texas Rangers. Now, these 2 teams were in the same division, obviously, and they ended up tying for their division. So, Houston won the division, but I just don't think that Houston, I will tell you one thing, they have stepped a big step back this season in 2023, but, they just won the World Series last year, which I also predicted that was going to happen last year. If you go back and watch my 2022 World Series predictions, but yeah, I don't think Houston's got it. So Texas Rangers, they're going to the 2023 ALCS to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Now as we go back over to the National League, to the National League Championship Series between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Philadelphia Phillies. Congratulations, Milwaukee. Y'all have had a great season. But I just don't think that the Phillies, I think the Phillies are just too good for Milwaukee to tame. I think Philadelphia goes back to the World Series for 2023. The NLCS will also take 6 games. 6 games for the Philadelphia Phillies to take the National League pennant. I think that they're just a little bit better than the Brewers. Like I said earlier, I didn't even mention the offensive stars for Philadelphia, but Bryce Harper, Alec Bohm. I'm trying to think. I was about to say Rhys Hoskins, but he's hurt. And he's been hurt throughout the whole year. But everybody on that team for the Philadelphia Phillies, they're pretty good. They're not quite as hot as they did last year. They got off to a better start this year than they did last year. They've been right there with the Braves. Well, actually, they kind of hadn't, but they've been in second place for pretty much the whole season for that National League East division. So anyway, Philadelphia Phillies, they make it to the World Series for the 2nd straight year. Now, so we go back over to the American League side of things, where we have the Baltimore Orioles of all teams and the Texas Rangers Who would have thought back in March of 2023 that the American League Championship Series would be between the Baltimore Orioles and the Texas Rangers? That is just crazy in itself. But as we look at this series, both teams are really good, but man alive, it's hard to... From what the Orioles have done this season, it's really hard to bypass them. I'm going with the Baltimore Orioles to make it to the 2023 World Series. Rangers have had a great season. Ups and downs, bumps in the road as always, but I think the Baltimore Orioles get the job done. I know they're young, but they are good. So I think this game is probably going to take 7 games for the American League Championship Series pennant, and I think that Baltimore will get the job done. Now, 2023 World Series, the one that everybody's been waiting for. The Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Baltimore Orioles. Of all teams, the 102 win Baltimore Orioles making it all the way to the World Series after 2 years removed from losing 100 games. Now they're in the World Series. And man alive, to be honest, I feel a little bit biased because I love this team. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Baltimore, it's hard to deny what they've been doing this year. Philadelphia, I don't think luck's going to be on their side. I think Baltimore goes on to win the 2023 World Series. Wouldn't that be something right there, man? Baltimore Orioles, 2 years removed from winning 100 games. This young team filled with all kinds of rookies. Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, and everybody else on that team. I think they're going to win the 2023 World Series. But yeah, man, that's about all I got for you as my computer's going off over there. That's it. Well, I'm about done. I'm pretty much done anyway. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Be sure to tune in to the... be sure to stay tuned for future episodes of the TCW and Post Race Show. They will be coming out, hopefully, in the next few weeks, because we have a lot of races coming up. This Saturday, we got Tri-County coming up. Week after that, it is South Boston Speedway instead of Little Rock, because Little Rock, I don't believe it's ready yet, so they're going to end up racing in South Boston. And then 2 weeks from South Boston is actually the season finale for the Smart Modified Tour at Orange County Speedway. So, that's all I got for you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all went to church, was yesterday, because this is Monday. So, hope y'all went to church yesterday. Be sure to go to church this Sunday, and be sure to go to church Wednesday night. And God bless y'all. He loves all y'all. And God bless. Peace out. I'm gone as the 20-sometime Modified Touring Champion, Burt Myers. He asks you to.
If you haven't subscribed to Charlie Warren's YouTube videos, go ahead and do that now.